Hey guys, it's Christine here, and today me and my sister are going to be telling you 5 things that we hate, 5 things each. So number one, the first thing I hate is when you're like, let's say your grandparents are over at your house and they're like, let's play a Wii game, and you're like, you don't even know what that is, but they insist on playing it, and so you're sitting there and you're like, okay, we'll play, and so you give them their remote, their like number 2 or number 3 remote, because you're like, I'm being number 1. And so you're sitting there and you get it the game on, let's say Wheel of Fortune, and then you spit it, and then you get the you're like, are you gonna go? And then you're like, Papa, go, it's your turn. And he's sitting there, are you gonna spin? And you're like, okay. And then you're like, Papa, go, it's your turn, go. And he looks at his remote, he looks at the screen, looks at you, is it my turn? And you're like, no, it's not your turn. And he's like, oh, okay. And then he just sits there. And you're over there, like, literally dying. So that's one thing I hate. Okay, one thing I hate is in bed at night. And I finally got all comfortable. And then, I'm laying there, I'm just like, oh, I had a good day today, whatever, I can't wait to do whatever I'm going to do tomorrow. And then, your blanket gets messed up. Half a second, you hate your blanket's guts, and you just want to rip it up and throw it on the floor, and it's like, why does that even happen? So, the second thing I hate is when your mom's like, come down and put the dishes away, and you're like, do you seriously think I want to do that? And then I get down there, and I'm drying the dishes and putting them away, and then water drops on my toe. Like, you're like, bite down hard on your tongue, and you're just like, and then you go over, you put the dishes away, and then you come back, and you're like, I'm gonna get this done. And then the more water starts like trickling down your leg and onto your toe, and you're like trying not to scream, and your mom's like, and you're like, I got water on my toe. And then she's like, why are you freaking out with water on your toe? And then I grab the towel and I'm like wiping it off as fast as I can, and then and so yeah, I hate that. That's why I hardly ever put the dishes away. Like when I do it, like you can ask her, I'm like screaming in there. It's so annoying. So that's what number? The second thing I hate. Ha! So the second thing I hate would probably be, so like I'm at church doing stuff with the student ministry, whatever, and like you walk in, and the lights are kind of dimmed or whatever, and then you see these like groups of kids. Like, you can tell what they're talking about, or like their backstory or whatever, because like there's like this one group that like all they wear is black, and then there's like the popular kids, and then there's one group who just like sits there and talks about who knows what. Like that's all they do for like the 10 minutes of free time, before the lesson starts. Like they just sit there and talk about I don't even know what. Like, really? So that's just another thing I hate, like having those, like, social cliques. I mean, why can't we all just be, like, one big group of happy teenagers? I mean, would that kill anyone? I don't think it would kill anyone. It certainly wouldn't kill me. I mean, I don't really like all the different groups. But, me and my circle of friends, we kind of have our little group that's, like, we're kind of funny and laughy, and we like, run around, hang out with other people. We don't just like stay in this clump of people. So, I mean, that's just one thing. That's another thing I don't like. So the third thing I hate is when like you make a video, and people on YouTube, you want subscribers and you want people to comment, or on Instagram or whatever. And so like on YouTube, let's say you're making a YouTube video like the ones that we've made, and you're like, please comment and subscribe below. Please comment and subscribe. Like you're threatening the people's lives, and they still don't subscribe or comment. And so you're like, and then like nobody likes it, and so you're sitting there with these cool bunch of hairstyles or whatever, and you've got like 1 subscriber, and yeah, like our
half up, half down braid thing has like 72 views and only 2 likes, and one of them was my sister since it's her page, and there's like 1 comment, and I think Amber Jordan, she commented on that one. Thank you. And like it's so weird because you're sitting here and you're like, I will hunt you down and kill you in your sleep if you don't subscribe, and yet they're still like, oh my gosh, let's go watch this stupid video that has absolutely nothing to do with how you should live, and let's comment and subscribe on that!
So, another thing I hate is, actually this happened to me like 3 days ago. I was putting on my mascara, and then half a second after I finished, I sneezed. I hate it, it's the worst thing in the world! I hate it, it's the worst thing in the world! Because you're like, sitting there, oh, la-di-da, I'm gonna put on my mascara, and by the way, New York Color Instant Lash, it's good, it works. Unless you sneeze. Because the second you sneeze, you open your eyes and you look like a raccoon. I don't wanna look like a raccoon. One day that happened and I was just like, you know what? I ain't taking this off. And then I did, because I didn't want to look like a raccoon and scare my friends. Okay, so number 4 things I hate. I hate it when when your sister is like, oh my gosh, did you see that guy? Oh my gosh, did you see him? And you're like, shut up. You're like sitting there and she's like, did you see his hair? It was tall and macaroni-ish. And you're like, what does that even mean? And then you're like, but you're like, what does that even mean? And you're like, even though you said it about his hair because you think he's a jerk. And so you're like, my voice is high. And so you're like, sitting there and she's going, oh, did you see his clothes? Did you see his shoes? Oh my gosh, his feet are... Oh. And you're over there literally puking all over the floor, and there's nothing you can do about it because she won't shut up. Number 4 thing I hate... And part on that, when you're trying to be, when you're just sitting in overflow, like at our church, and then you feel like this clawing like down your back, and it's her, he's here, and she's like giving you shaken baby syndrome, even though you can't even get that anymore, but yet it still happens somehow. She's like shaking you around, like literally, we have basketball goals, up. She could literally, like, this is how excited she is. She could pick me up and throw me in it, and I would go through the hoop, because she's like shaking me, and then my friend Maisie, she's like... So, yeah, that's another thing I hate. Oh wait, I didn't stop it. So first of all, I want to clarify, I am not that crazy when my crush walks in the room. Like, I'm not at all. Sure, I might be like clawing down her back or something and like shaking her around, but after that, I'm fine, I'm good. So I'm gonna copy off of her, and that's gonna be my 4th thing I hate too. I mean, I don't think this really qualifies this video, because it's not that I really hate it, it's just kind of annoying to me, because, like, I mean, it's the same thing she said, like, whatever she said about, like, oh my gosh, she's here, well, he's like, describing, like, what his hair was doing, like, I don't know, like, how it's styled, like, I mean, when her crush walks in the room, and, I mean, both of our crushes play basketball, and me and her were in this line of other kids playing knockout, and he comes over from the other court to play, and I'm about to shoot, and it's like she's trying to strangle me. He's gonna know now! It's like he's trying to strangle me. If you're Alpha, please subscribe, because chances are I love you. Oh my god. So then I can't even shoot the ball, and everyone's like, just shoot it. I'm like, I can't, I got a monkey on my back! And, I mean, I don't know, I don't even want to go there, I can't really say anything, because I do the same thing. But it is not as severe as she made it sound. It's not as severe, like, what I said about her, it is that severe, and our friends know it. Okay, so, this is my last thing, 5th thing I hate. So let's say you posted like your hairstyling, like this hairstyling video, like my cool dudes thing or whatever, or that cute over loud, you know who you are, Stephanie.
and you know, like the cute overload video, and then your cool dudes, and you're like, it's an innocent little hairstyling thing. Like you're not wearing like these weird clothes or whatever, and you don't have like gobs of makeup on. And then you're like, oh, let's see if I get a comment. And then you read the comment, and like it's got like every single bad word in the book, like there is. And you were like, what, did I provoke you to this? Like, did BT dubs, this hasn't happened in any of our videos, but I've heard about it. Like, you could post a video of your baby brother, like, laughing or whatever, and people will be like, OMG, what the meh is that? And I'm like, it's not a laughing matter. Don't laugh about it. Or like, or when you're making this really, really cute video or whatever, like painting your nails or whatever, and people are like, why did you do that? Like, was I supposed to learn how to live during this? Like, what the honk? And you're like, what does that mean? Like, I'm just a little girl. I mean, obviously, people are stupid, but so yeah, that's the 5th thing I hate. Don't make any weird comments below, cause don't. It's not nice. Anyway. So, yeah, and I've had, like, when, and this is, I know this is a totally different thing, but when you're reading, like, these books online, you know, like these, I'm sorry, this is mixed into number 5, and you, like, have this story about, like, this little girl who went to the candy shop and floated all about, you know, and she ate candy, and then she met this cute guy, and she was like, oh my gosh, and then it has all these bad words in it, all these inappropriate things in it, and you're like, I wanted to read a children's book! But there's no such thing as children's books these days. There's not. Anyway, so thank you, that was actually 6, but nobody cares, because... Anyway, see you later! Okay, so the 5th and final thing, I know you're all happy because you're tired of listening to me talk, is another nighttime, like, trying to go to sleep one. So, like, this happened a couple nights ago. I was laying in bed, trying to go to sleep, you know, like, oh, if you want some tips on how to go to sleep, count backwards from 100. Works for me every time, like... count the name of your crush backwards, like... Yeah, you could do that one, but I don't recommend it. Not like I've tried it. But I haven't. Count backwards from 100. Works every time for me. I don't even get past 20. Most of the time, I don't even get past 50. Like, I'm out. Like, I'm dead. So, I'm trying to go to sleep. I'm counting backwards from 100. I finally get to sleep. And then I woken up like this maniac screaming up in the bed, up in the top bunk, and I'm like, oh my gosh, the house is on fire or something. And I'm like, I'm gonna die. And I come back to my senses, I wake up all the way, and I'm like, really? Because it's just Christine talking in her sleep. Like, every night she talks in her sleep. And I'm like, really? Like, she'll be up there, like, she's saying, like, real words, but it's like, I don't know if she's saying them backwards, or if she's, like, mixing the letters up and then saying them, because it doesn't sound like a foreign language, like, it sounds like nonsense, but I can understand the sounds or whatever, but I can't understand what the word is. I mean, like, how is that even possible? Like, does her brain work backwards when she was asleep? I don't know, but sometimes, like, she'll be like, no, don't, or whatever, or, like, a friend in her dream will be, like, dying, and then she'll be like, it sounds like she's jumping in her bed, which isn't possible because it's close to the ceiling. She would break her neck. And, I mean, it's like she's jumping around, thrashing around, like, it's like there's an alligator up there, like, twirling around and around like it does in the water to kill its food. I mean, I'm like, what are you possessed? And then I'm just like, Christine, and she's like, what? And I'm like, Christine, just go back to sleep. And she wakes up and she's like, I'm awake. And I'm like, okay, yeah, okay. And so I shine my flashlight at the clock, and I'm like, oh yeah, well, what time is it? And then she gets the time perfect every time, and I'm like, were you asleep, or were you just doing that to scare me? Like,
sometimes it's so freaky. Like, I think I'm having a nightmare. Like, she's like, stop. Like, she's screaming, and I'm like, and then she gets up, like, I'll go to the bathroom. She goes to the bathroom and comes back, and I'm like, you were talking in your sleep. And she was like, no, I wasn't. And then just gets back up in her butt and goes to sleep. I'm like, we can't. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed all my me and her things.
Bye! We'll make more. We will make more.
That we hate, we don't like, you know, whatever you want to call it, annoying things in our life. Or whatever you want to call it, I don't care.
We'll make more. We'll definitely make more. A lot more.
We will make more because this is actually fun. I didn't know it was going to be this fun, but it is. Chicken wings. So, like one of the things Christine was annoyed at, please comment. But comment nicely.
Yes! Okay, I gotta get this one. Like, if you're like, if any of these things, like, you hate too, like, your sister obsessing over her crush or whatever, please comment. Because we'll make more. We'll make more, like, things we like, things we hate, like, types of people on the internet, or types of, like, friends we have, or types of, stuff.
I was talking. Like it. Share it. Amber Jordan shared 2 of my videos.
Thank you, Amber!
Yes, she did. And, subscribe. I have 4 subscribers. I'm so happy. Like, I know that's like nothing, like it's dirt. I mean, 4 subscribers is like nothing. There's like people who have like net worth. You have like 18,000 subscribers. I'm like, how's that possible? Whatever, just, yeah.
Oh, and our Cool Dudes video, I'm gonna attempt to do Katniss Braid, and that'll be posted on Monday.
Yeah,
I know, but still. Just let you know.
Bye!